Hi guys, it's SkintBoot here, and today what I'm going to be bringing you guys is a No Man's Sky video. And in today's video, what I'm going to be looking into is whether or not it is actually possible to break the boundary map in No Man's Sky. Now, this refers to picking out a point from space, hyperdriving forwards, and seeing if you can bunk the edge of the map by either falling into a black abyss or somehow going past the stars. For this video, I used an unlimited hyperdrive mod that also makes the speed a lot faster, so the results came quicker than if I did it with vanilla. Also, I recorded nearly an hour's worth of footage, so in case you're thinking this is faked or half-assed or just made up or whatever the fuck, you can clearly see the big fuck off 20 gig file on my hard drive. But anyway, with all of that said and done, please do sit back and relax. Let's get started. So, to cut a very long story short and to avoid a bit of a clickbaity title, you cannot traditionally break the boundaries of the map in No Man's Sky like how you would in, say, Call of Duty by ending up falling into an eternal black abyss. However, there are some pretty interesting results regardless. So I began my journey by simply picking out a star in the distance, engaging hyperdrive and letting it fly for as long as I basically stayed interested for. I aimed to get at least an hour of footage, and I pretty much did that, but I had to keep replenishing the hyperdrive ever so often, which did actually keep me somewhat engaged, otherwise I probably would have just fallen asleep. Now, when I was flying and simply had all the time in the world to look around and take in the sights, I didn't notice anything too crazy. When I was actually in motion, not a lot changed. The sky didn't change color, or I didn't suddenly bump a new planet. It just sort of looked like I wasn't really moving. The only indication that I was moving was the asteroid fields that would occasionally fly past. However, around the 37-minute mark of hyperdriving, I stopped my ship and had a look around the universe to see if anything had changed. I ended up doing this somewhat frequently, as this was the only way I actually saw any immediate results. Now, the biggest noticeable difference was the behavior of the distant stars which surrounds you basically like a skybox. Now, whenever I moved the ship in a direction, the stars would essentially fly around manically rather than actually staying in the same place like real stars. This seemed to become more aggressive and frequent the further I flew out. However, I don't really know the cause of this or why this even happened. I can assume that it's something to do with projecting the skybox onto the player, and when you go too far, it basically implodes because you're not supposed to be able to do that. Now, this idea is further backed up by the HUD icons that usually show up in space. Things like the space station icon flew all over the fucking place and popped in and out of existence all the time. Likewise, with the estimated time to arrive, it didn't align with the icon whatsoever. So in essence, it would be fucking impossible to find your way back to the planets or the space station. I did end up thinking the stars looked somewhat closer than they did before, but that could have been down to how bored I was, or the skybox fucking up, or my mind playing tricks on me, something of the sort. But after an hour's footage, I ended my quest and concluded that you couldn't physically bunk the edge of the galaxy. However, my research didn't stop there. I then ended up messaging Rayrod TV, who is a very talented modder and an individual with a lot of experience with No Man's Sky behind the scenes. He's essentially like a developer. He knows so much. And I asked him this question, which I was trying to find an answer to. Is it actually possible to leave the map of No Man's Sky? Now, he replied fairly quickly, like he always does. He's really good with this. And he stated that he himself wanted to know this, so he modded the hyperdrive speed so it was insanely faster and just flew into the stars to see the result. Now, Rayrod found out that after a certain amount of time, the game simply crashed. So this could mean he either hit the end and the game freaked the fuck out, or it was going too fast for the game to actually work and function, and instead decided it'd be easier to just explode in on itself. Either way, it is not possible to bunk the edge of the galaxy, and it's also not possible to fly manually to another star system. I wouldn't recommend trying this yourself. You probably won't get any different results. It's really fucking boring, and it also takes up so much space on your hard drive if you're planning to record it. But regardless, I hope this might have satisfied some of your curiosities, or maybe a question you had about how No Man's Sky functions. But yeah, that is the answer to it. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you did enjoy, then please do feel free to leave a like on it, and if if you guys could also subscribe to MZK, then that'd be absolutely fantastic. And as always, I will see you guys on my next video. This is SkintBoot, signing out.
I know. I'll just stop thinking about it.